Secure boot is a feature that prevents unauthorized code from running during the boot process of a computer. It is designed to protect the system from malware such as bootkits, which can compromise the security and integrity of the operating system and its data. However, secure boot is not foolproof. In 2022, a zero-day vulnerability was discovered in Secure Boot that allowed a bootkit called Black Lotus to bypass its protections and run malicious code at the UEFI level. UEFI stands for Unified Extensible Firmware Interface, which is the software that controls the hardware and firmware of a computer before the operating system loads. The vulnerability, tracked as CVE 2022-21894, exploited a flaw in the Windows Boot Manager, which is responsible for loading the operating system and verifying its signature. The flaw allowed an attacker to remove blocks of memory from the boot manager and replace them with malicious code. This code could then execute before Secure Boot could check its validity. Black Lotus was the first known real-world malware that used this technique to infect fully patched Windows systems, including Windows 11. It was able to evade detection by antivirus software and other security tools, and gain persistence on the infected system by modifying the UEFI firmware. Black Lotus was discovered by security researchers at ESET in March 2023, who reported it to Microsoft. Microsoft issued a patch for CVE 2022-21894 in January 2022, but it was not enough to stop Black Lotus. The malware used another workaround to bypass Secure Boot, which was later identified as CVE 2023-24932. Microsoft released a patch for CVE 2023-24932 in May 2023, but it was not enabled by default. The patch required changes to the Windows Boot Manager that could not be reversed once they were applied. It also rendered older boot media unbootable, such as Windows installation disks, recovery drives, and network boot drives. Microsoft warned that enabling the patch could cause disruption and prevent some systems from starting up. It advised users to follow a 5-step process to manually apply and verify a pair of revocation files that updated the system's EFI boot partition and registry. Microsoft also said that it would gradually enable the patch by default over the next few months, until early 2024. The Secure Boot vulnerability exploited by Black Lotus was a serious threat to Windows users, as it could allow attackers to gain full control over their systems and data. It also showed that Secure Boot was not immune to flaws and bypasses, and that users needed to keep their systems updated and secure. In January 2022, Microsoft patched a vulnerability in all supported versions of Windows that could allow attackers to bypass Secure Boot and install a malicious UEFI bootkit called Black Lotus. Secure Boot is a feature that prevents unauthorized code from running before the operating system loads. However, the patch did not fully address the issue, as hackers found another way to exploit the same flaw and continue to infect fully patched Windows systems. To fix this problem, Microsoft released another patch in May 2023 that updates the Windows Boot Manager and blocks the Black Lotus bootkit. However, this patch is not enabled by default and requires users to manually apply and verify a pair of revocation files. Microsoft says that this is because the patch could cause disruption and prevent some systems from starting up if not properly enabled. The patch also makes older Windows boot media unbootable, such as DVDs, USB drives, network drives, and recovery media. Microsoft plans to take a phased approach to enable the patch fully by early 2024. The company says that this will give users and organizations enough time to prepare for the changes and update their boot media. Microsoft also recommends that users read email messages in plain text format when using Outlook, as another zero-day vulnerability could allow remote code execution via infected emails.